Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. Obviously you're not seeing gameplay on the screen this time, because this is like, I guess, an actual formal video instead of actual gameplay. This is like what you would typically like refer to as a video. But today we're going to be looking at one of, in my opinion, one of the best yet most affordable power supplies out there, aka a PSU. But yeah, so let's just get right into this. But before we get this off, this was a sponsored video. This is sponsored by ARES Gaming, and they saw my video about talking about how I'm going to be building a PC and I needed some help, like understanding what parts do what and like what I need. And they decided to send me over this for completely free for me. They did this out of their own pocket. This is an $80 750 watt 80 plus bronze PSU, which for $80 that's a pretty good price. You're not going to get much lower than that for an $80 PSU. I mean, you're not going to get like a much lower price for 750 watt 80 plus bronze. If you do, it's going to be probably crappy, but this one's good. This one is good. So yeah, let's just get this started. Obviously I've read off all that stuff, and also if you want links to this product or an Amazon page, I'll leave a link to their actual homepage and where you can buy it on Amazon, or you can buy it right off their homepage. But they have a lot of different options on their actual website, so you can get like different watts, different like ratings, and different prices, of course. So we're just gonna get this started. And yeah, so the first thing that I noticed when I picked up the box is that if you see at the top, there is a handle. So this handle is just, it's not a big detail, but I like how they included it because it gives it like room if you're like moving it around a lot, and it's just so much easier having a handle on it other than like carrying it very awkwardly. So I do appreciate that. That is the one thing that I noticed that all my other PC parts don't have, is that handle. So shout out to them for doing that. And yeah, let's go talk about the other stuff on this box. Alright, so I flipped it over to the back of the box. So we're gonna see a few different things. It might be a little like, you might get like some like lights, like weird things in lighting in the video, just because of the light that I have up here. So I'm just gonna read off some of this stuff. So this has a modular design. So basically a modular design allows for cables to, like, not all the cables are connected. So like if you don't want to use one cable, you don't have to, you can keep it in the box, which is very, very useful. If you're gonna get a PSU, you should probably get a modular PSU, just because if there's one cord you're not using in there and you can't take it out, then it's gonna be such a hassle, especially with cable management. So this just really helps cable management, which is one of the hardest things to do when building a PC. The next thing that you see at the very bottom is that it has a 5-year warranty. So if you break it or anything happens to it, within 5 years of you buying it, you can get one for completely free, which I thought was awesome. And that's not like an extra cost you have to pay for. That just comes with the actual product, which is really cool that they would do that. So it also does 750 watts at 40 degrees Celsius, which is about average. And it has ultra quiet 120 millimeter fan, which is like the number one, well, not the number one, but one of the most important things to look at when buying a PSU, because a lot of PSUs have like crappy built-in fans, the cheapest ones that they can find. But if you get one that actually has a quiet fan, it is 10 times better. So that's what they were going for in this build, and I do appreciate that. So we're gonna go inside the box now, and yeah, let's just do that. Alright, so this is what you see when you first open the box. Very simple, no extra compartments to open. Everything is just right there, ready to be built, as if you're like in a rush to open this. So at the very top, it's probably not that easy to see. We do have, excuse me, coronavirus. We do actually have 4 screws to put it in the actual PC. And we also have some cable ties, which I really don't see that much in PSUs. So this basically just helps out with like cable management and just keeping your cables all together. I'm not sure if you guys are getting like a lighting effect right now. My light's kind of geeking out. But yeah, so that's the very first thing you see at the top. And then right under it, you'll see a user manual. I'm gonna show you guys that right now. Alright, with the user manual, it basically describes all the products that you should have been given inside this. And they also refer you to links and a number to call if you are missing any of these products or any of these products are damaged and broken. And they really list that fairly easy. It's literally on the front of the box, right as you open it. They don't make it hard for you to get in contact with an actual person for the company. And they also show you actually how to put the PSU in your build. So instead of having to like look up a video on how to do that, they just give it to you right in the user manual with very clear instructions. So that is always a plus. But yeah, let's move on to the more important things right now. Alright, this is what we see next. As you can see, there is a notice on the front of the box that they say to only use original cables. This is just to tell you that don't mix up cables because they don't know if they're bronze rated and other things that go in with that I'm not even too sure exactly what they would cause, but just take the retailer's word on that because that's definitely going to be your best bet. And on the left you can see an actual like power supply, I guess. Well, not power supply, but it basically brings the energy from the outlet to your actual PSU. Obviously that's nothing too special, but I did like how it is completely black, and it also is like not ratty. It looks like it's very glossy and stuff. I can tell that this can definitely last you decades if you wanted to. The wire would take it would need a lot of beating up and damage to get like an actual effect on the cables, because these cables are very well done. And then on the right, I'm gonna bring these cables out here in a second, so I'll be right back. So these are the cables that I'm talking about when I say non-modular or modular. Modular means that you can disconnect and connect cables that you want. So these are the actual cables that go to the different components in your PC. So we have the SATA cable, we have some PCI cables, we have a bunch of extra cables. So if you don't want to use them, you don't have to, you can always keep them in the box. And they leave lots of little zip ties and things just so you can keep those cables really managed. And it's just overall, it's just a good experience with them. You don't have to worry about things being messy in your build, which I like a lot. Alright, so now on top of here, you are going to notice a little bag, I guess. So this bag actually contains a tester. So this tests if everything is working and the fan is working. And I just thought that was like, and it gives you clear instructions, 3-step instructions, which are great. And it gives you a little piece there to test the fan to see if it works. And I thought that was just a good inclusion, because you don't want to have all your build already built, all your things already in, and then later you figure out, oh no, my PSU does not work, the fan's not spinning right. Because that's just gonna suck when you have to take all those cables back out and all those extra things back out after you put everything together. So I just thought that was a good inclusion. So after all this talk, let's get into the actual big part of the PSU. Alright, so I took the actual build out of the PSU out of the box. So the thing that I noticed is that this is some of the best packaging I've ever seen. There's like these big tubes of air going around the whole thing, very compact, and it's fit to put the PSU in it. Like, it's fit to its size, so it leaves no room for damage. Like, if you get this damage in packing, they would have had to just like put it in one of those t-shirt throwers or those cannons and shot it out, because this thing is, I can't even imagine it getting broken because of how well this is done. You got air on the corners, you got air on the bottom, you got air on the top, you got air on the sides. Literally, it would be so hard to break this thing. So that's like insane because I never really see, I don't see companies spending that much money or that much time in actually packaging the product. And I just thought that's a good inclusion, especially for something that's not that expensive, or they made it not that expensive. I just thought that that was a good thing to show. So you guys can't see this. Here, I'll flip it around so you guys can see the next thing I'm gonna talk about. Alright, so right here are the cables that actually are going to be always connected to your PSU. And the first thing I noticed is that there's a Velcro strap going around the wires to keep it all managed. And not only like that, I love these little Velcro straps that are like this, because these are very well made, and also I use them all the time, like especially for cable management when you have all your wires going everywhere from your monitor to your PC to your capture card. These things are amazing just to group all your wires together if you don't have the money to get a a wire sleeve. And that is another thing in there. You also see a wire sleeve. I'm not exactly sure if you guys can see it. It kind of looks like snake skin, like black snake skin. And it just keeps all the wires from looking so messy at the bottom of the build. And then the last thing that I'm going to talk about to the wires before we get onto the big part is that these are all the same color. They're all black. And if you didn't know, if you get on the cheaper end of the PSUs, you're going to see like the weird mustard colors. You're going to see like some reds and some yellows, just really yucky colors. And it's going to just be a big distraction when you're trying to like look over, because PCs are supposed to be, they're supposed to look good as well as perform well. And having this is just brings a sleek design overall to your PC. So I really appreciate that. So yeah, let's go into the actual big part, and yeah, let's go. Alright, so at the top, well, this is actually goes on the bottom, so this faces downwards on your PC. We have a fan, and if you notice, it looks a little bit bubbly on the top for the logo. That's actually a sticker, like a protector, to keep it like from like the logo getting messed up. So it just like keeps it fresh. So that's what that's why it looks like that. I haven't taken it off yet, because I'm gonna take that off when I build my PC. I'm also including this part in my PC build. So if you guys want to see that video will be out either December or January, probably January maybe. I don't know, maybe December. But yeah, so that's what you're looking at right now. We got a very nice fan. And yeah, that's like the very bottom. It's not big, it's actually pretty lightweight, which is always a good thing. Just to like keep the stress, especially if you're setting the PC on the table. You don't want it super heavy, especially if your table cannot handle that. So let's go on to the other side. Okay, so this part, I like this part a lot. So obviously this is the part that you're gonna see when turning on your PC. You got the actual PC power on button, which is very nice. Then you got the input right there for the power. And so one thing that I don't see PSUs doing a lot is this like open airflow. So this has this open airflow where it has these like little honeycomb pattern, so it gets the most amount of air. And you can also see a little bit of the parts. You see some coils in there, some copper coils, which I thought was kind of cool. So it's just good. Not only that, so not only a cool design, but also it's gonna make it so it's your PC is a little bit colder, which the coldest, you always want your PC to be cold. Well, not freezing obviously, but you guys know what I mean. And then finally we have the logo on the side, and I'm gonna show you that, guys. Alright, there we go. You guys can see. So this, you're basically never gonna see this, but I like that they spent time with putting their logo on and making the color scheme look good. So obviously we got the wattage and the stuff on you guys' right, I believe, and we have the logo, which actually looks really well. Their logo is really nice. It's a good orange. It's nothing like too flashy, which I always can enjoy that. But yeah, so that's gonna actually wrap it up for today's video. Again, huge shout out to ARES Game for sponsoring this video. I will leave a link to their website, so if you guys want to get maybe better wattage, or sure you guys want to check out their company, you guys can do that in the first link in the description. I also will put a direct link to this exact product right here in the description as well. It's an Amazon link, so you guys can check out those items. And this is honestly one of the best PSUs I've seen out there. I was gonna get a $120 one, but now that I'm looking at it, this $70 version, which is almost half the price, not quite half the price. No, it's $80. Yeah, so it's not quite half the price, but it's probably 2 or 3 times better than that $80 version. I mean, that $120 version. Even though that $120 version did have 100 extra wattage, you really won't need more than 750 watts unless you're running like multiple like a lot of like specs in your PC, like really good specs. But yeah, again, shout out to them. Check out all their links. And yeah, thank you again for the sponsorship. I really appreciate this. This is definitely going in my PC build in December. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Remember to go check them out. And thank you.